add a bit more heat on it. Okay, and also I need to sear my meat. It will take maybe 2 or 3 steps, so I can sear all of them. I have to sear the vegetable. So the time I need to do all that, if I use fresh butter, it's more chance of fresh butter burn. So I use clarified butter to start. It's a white meat, rabbit are very lean. You don't want the pan to come too hot. So check the fat. Okay, I use the bones to check the temperature. If it's too hot and I burn the bones, not so much, not burn the bones, but dry the bones a little bit, it's not a big deal, it's no meat I want to eat. Okay, when I'm happy with that, you can go. Also because we have the mustard, we don't want too much heat because the mustard will dry out too fast and it's not going to be very tasty. Step. So one time they will be seared, I transfer them in the pan for the next step. So here, for doing the braisage, add some shallots, some leeks, some celery. I also need to add some white wine for the déglaçage. Now, when you are working, you more or less have two solutions. Like me today, I make my mise en place, so I have plenty of time to talk to you and everything like that. But if I don't do the mise en place, when that is searing, I take my onions, my shallot, leeks, celery, push it here. In here, what the next step? White wine. I go pick up my white wine. Doesn't mean I cannot, okay, sear it. Go for the white wine. You want to plan in advance. You should always be 2 or 3 steps in advance over the recipe, knowing, okay, what's the next step in my recipe? There. Good. So white wine, what else we have? We have bouteillani, and we have some stock. So we have white stock, and I have the bones to intensify the flavor of the stock. I don't have any flour here, why? No flour in my recipe. Or with chicken my sauce. Reduction of what?
Of the white wine and butter.
If you reduce white wine and butter, you get nothing. White wine is a tasty water. If you reduce water, you get nothing. So, sorry? You cannot reduce fat. Fat is oil. What you can do is to get it away. See the jumping? The fat is not reducing, it's flying away in the ventilation, so you cannot reduce fat. So you get the sauce. Stock, I will have some white stock, but this is clear white stock. So I can reduce it, but I don't think I will get a lot of thickening from a white reduced stock. So what else I can do?
Take the bones, put it in the stock, use the nutrients in the bones to create the sauce.
If you have a lot of gelatin, or connective tissue in the bone, that will give you gelatin, that will give you a bit kind of texture, not consistent but texture, except here with the rabbit, it's a young animal, it's like chicken, it's not going to give you a lot of connective tissue, so what will be used in my sauce today? Remember? Butter and cream. If you have one, or the other, or even better, the both. That is good. So we're going to take some cream and reduce it. Some cream and reduce it. So, what is cream?
Delicious.
No! That's fine. Italian olive oil. But that's cream. It's not fat, is it? Actually, I get the main idea to you, but I don't know you. Forget it. Cream is a sauce. What you need in a sauce? Water or tasty, fat to give a constant, and an emulsion. You have water, tasty water is from the milk. You have cream from the milk, and you have an emulsion. So that's already a sauce. What I need to make my sauce in it is just to give him the rabbit mustard flavor, which comes from that. That's why when you have cream, half of the job is done. So I want to reduce my cream. You know it's 35% fat in this cream. I will reduce it from maybe 65% fat. But it's still, it's cream. It's better. Okay? So don't talk about fat. So yeah. Sorry, make me mad. So you see, what kind of stew you have done already? You have made some braisé? Never. You will be a lot of extra work next week. So what kind of braisé will we be doing?
It's all chicken.
Chicken? Yeah. So the principle will be the same. Know the difference, how much color you give to the meat. What vegetable you use for the mirepoix. What one you use here. Do you put tomato paste or not? Do you put flour or not? But the technique is the same. So it's why you want to learn the technique. If you have the technique for one, you have the technique for all of it. After that, it's only variation. And the variation is always based on common sense. Why you put that? Because I want this effect. Why you put flour? Why would I put flour? For example, I will decide, say, okay, I will sprinkle some flour in it. Give me one reason I will do that.
Chicken.
Sorry?
Chicken.
No, I can get the same consistency with my cream. So why your chef will say, yeah, it's a good recipe, but we're going to put flour in it.
Texture?
Sorry?
Texture?
No, this one will be a better texture than anything else. Because it's cream and butter. So that's the best. Cream and butter.
Like a brownie?
How much cost that? Make it know. How much it costs? It's cream. It was very expensive. Flour will make it cheaper. So you can get the same kind of consistency, but for less money. And you need to know that. After that, you want to know all that so you can decide which one you use. Okay? If your customer wants this recipe but they don't want to pay the price for it, maybe you still do it. But put flour in it to cut the price. Maybe the original recipe is served with truffle inside, but you will do it with mushroom. So the same recipe we have to ask the customer can be modified to go to the price they can afford. That's very important, knowing how much money you can do. So I leave the pan cooling down a little bit. I have some fat in it, maybe a bit too much, so I can drain it. Celery, leeks, shallots, and I don't know in which I heard that already, but listen, okay, when you're working, because depending the sound you have in the pan, you know if it's too hot or not, okay? You know if the cream is boiling too much or not, so you can avoid some problems. So, I shred my vegetable, and when you shred vegetable, why do you shred them?
Flavor? Sugar.
Sugar. Why you should sugar?
Because that's what's in the mirepoix, the leeks, and the...
You have sugar in the leeks?
Yeah.
The leeks is sweet?
Well, no, natural sugar. Natural fruit.
Natural sugar in it.
After you cook it.
I don't know, because if you find that sweet, you should put that in your coffee in the morning. It's sweet.
No.
So, where you see sugar?
Is it part of the onion family?
The leeks. So you have sugar in the onions?
Yes.
Maybe.
I'll bite.
Sweet?
After I can bite, look at it.
Ah, so where is the sugar?
Got brown because you have sugar to come out.
This family have an acid we transform in sugar during the cuisson. But even if I don't have that, or even if I have only a celery, I will shred the vegetable. Why? It's not so much for the sugar, it's to take the acid away. So in case of the onions, yes, shallots, you can produce sweetness by cooking them. But in case of celery and some other vegetable like cabbage, you shred them to take the acid away, so they look sweeter. And why I want